After that second sacking at Heerenveen, his race to the Champions League trophy could have been over. But a lifeline was handed to him from the Spanish club Granada, although he is battling a relegation fight at his new club. However, the race has certainly stepped up as I moved to Portugal with Sporting, despite them falling off recently, sitting currently in mid-table. My first game in charge was also against main rivals Benfica in the league, but the result was rather surprising, as I managed to pull off a remarkable 3-1 win. There's still a gap in between ourselves and the top two, but it's a step in the right direction. So does this move give me the advantage in the race to the Champions League trophy? Well, I also began my time at Sporting with a bit of money, so I brought in an attacking midfielder who's just 20 years old from Paraguay. He immediately goes into my 4-4-1-1 tactic on the left-hand side, but can also play in the 10 role. It's easy to see why this Sporting team has dropped off. However, there is definitely a couple of players with fantastic potential that really could improve this team. At Granada, Dad recently had his best player taken with a release clause, but already brought in a new veteran goalkeeper in David Raya to improve his defence and has £33 million to spend. To replace the left winger, Dad brought in Daniel Luna, who might not be as good, but cost way less in just £7 million. And the rest of the money, however, was brought in to allow Dad to actually improve more positions on the pitch, like this new centre-back. In fact, Dad brought in 2 new centre-backs, but this one was also a free transfer. His biggest acquisition, though, of the summer was a new striker. The Dutch forward Mia Dink comes in from Birmingham for £10 million. Dad slightly altered his tactic for the new arrivals, however, the results recently had not been going in his favour at all. Meanwhile, in Portugal, I was transforming my Sporting side with a new striker for £3.3 million. I then made the weirdest transfer ever, as I signed Angelo from Inter Milan for £1.8 million, played him once, and sold him to Palmeiras for £8.75 million. And that allowed me to bring in a new goalkeeper for just £1.6 million from Denmark, as well as a very good defensive midfielder who instantly improves my starting 11 called Formica from Argentina for just £7.5 million. Finally, I brought in another South American youngster in Vargas, centre-back that I picked up from Colo-Colo in Chile for just £3 million. And Dad and I set out to complete the rest of this season trying to make an impact at our new clubs. Well, Dad, from relegation, you managed to survive.
Yeah, just.
I mean, there's only 4 points, but comfortably in 14th place.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that, really. It's somewhere to start now. I've got ground where to start now, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. From
Kept
where
them
they
up, which is
were.
what they would have wanted, wouldn't it?
Considering you lost your best player as soon as you joined as well, which didn't obviously help things, but you replaced well, got the club up to 14th, so go from there, mid-table finish next year.
Happy with that.
In the profile of the leagues, you can see the likes of Mbappe's knocking around, Lamine Yamal is still around. I mean, look at that. He's only 24, this is the 9th season.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so Kylian Mbappe is 33 now, coming towards the end of his career, still amazing. Bellingham, of course, is still there, and there's some new faces knocking around at the big 2 at the top, the 2 big cheeses. But you're down there in 14th. There's something to build on, as you say.
Yeah, there's a big space in front of me now, trying to get to that sort of the 7th or 8th area that I'll be chasing.
Yeah, the Gironas, Osasunas. You should be looking at those
teams in there that I
clubs.
can possibly beat now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other competition that you're in, the Cup, you have knocked out in the 3rd round by Real Oviedo. But again, at that point, you're just looking, to be honest, to survive in La Liga more than anything, weren't you, rather than focusing on the Cup, which you only lost in extra time. They were from the league below. But again,
it's bad, don't it?
Yeah, priorities are more important, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
So your squad then, looking at it, 12 goals from Antiste, who is kind of like your best striker.
Yeah.
The new striker you've had a couple of strikers that you've been messing around with, but Mex Merdink was the one that you brought in January for £10 million. Only got 2 goals.
When you look at him as well, he looks like a good striker as well.
Yeah.
Everything's there to be a good striker. The only thing I can think of, but there's no supply to him or something like that. But, he should be scoring goals. More than that, anyway.
I mean, his pace is slow, but he's not, really slow. 12 and 13 is still decent.
And he can use both feet as well.
Yeah, so I don't know what that one is.
I was a bit disappointed with that one.
I mean, when you bought him from, he was on 6 and 21 from Birmingham in the Championship, at 14 and 37 the year before. Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe next season he can kick on once he's used to the league. But you bought in a couple of really good signings, I think. That Daniel Luna was a good one on the left, the replacement for your best player who did leave the club, and a couple of others as well who's coming. You've also got Bojan Miovski, who is out on loan. I don't know whether you'll use him next year, because I think he's actually going to be out of contract anyway.
He's 32 as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he got 12 goals.
Probably
he
think
might
about
be
retiring,
gone.
isn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of retirement as well, David Raya is going to be going.
Yep, I had him for a season, so he's kept me up, so thank you, David.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Arsenal till he die, innit? And all that.
He come home to finish his career.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But your transfer budget for next season is only 10 million, so you haven't got a lot to work around with.
I suppose it's good for a team in that sort of area.
Yeah,
You know. You got to be one of the big sort of
selling clubs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so.
But I moved clubs since we last spoke. Move over to Portugal.
Yes.
To lovely sunny Portugal.
Lovely it is.
Here at Sporting. And I managed to drag them out and almost finish in second place, which compared to where they were when I took over and the gap between myself in 10th and second and first place, getting just 2 points behind Benfica, I'm really happy with that.
That's your challenge, isn't it? It's getting above them two now, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
In that league.
We're finally, one of us is at a club in the top division where we could actually win a league title here. Yeah. Because I don't think either of us have won an actual trophy. No, you won a promotion, but I don't think either of us have won a trophy yet. We're 9 years in, so that's kind of scary. But that's obviously the next step for us to do. But will it be at these clubs? There are some jobs knocking around. There's Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Napoli as well. Are you going to apply for any?
There's nothing there that catches my eye. No good teams there at all.
I might have a cheeky apply at Bayern Munich. I ain't going to go for Arsenal, but cheeky apply for Bayern Munich. I don't fancy Napoli, but I think the Bayern Munich job doesn't come up very often, and they've just won the league.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, you know, Xabi Alonso left because he went to Liverpool, funny enough. So
it's weird, that one, isn't it?
There's an opportunity there to take over, and they won the Champions League recently as well. So if you have a look in the past winners, they won it the season before and was finalist the year before. They got some cracking players. You just never know if I do apply, because my reputation is 4-star now. So it's getting up there. Yourself, Dad, after of course being sacked for the second time, is down in 3 stars.
I've got to build mine up again, so I probably need 2 good seasons for this team.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
My other competitions, Allianz Cup was the winner, but I think that might have been... Actually, I can't remember whether that was when I had joined or not. The Allianz Cup final, it was in February, so I do actually have a trophy to my name. I went on penalties against Benfica, so that's the first trophy that we have won. Well, not major trophy, but it is some kind of trophy there. But
bit of silverware, isn't it?
Semi-final of the Europa League. Ended up coming up against Manchester United. So I had a good run in there too. I mean, round of 16, knocked out West Ham. Quarter-final knocking out Atalanta.
That was a good result.
Yeah, because it was a 1-1 draw in the first one, then Manchester United knocked me out. They wanted to play Union Berlin in the final and lost. The team that I have got was very poor, but I think I've signed a couple of players, and I went for youth in this because I thought I need to commit to giving them game time, which is why you can see Noah Gonçalves, who was part of the youth team. I tried playing every single game. Mamadou Balde, who is also actually already at the club, as you can see, he was through the youth academy there, and Fernando Marquez. I tried to play up top the rest of the season, despite Yuri Alberto being at the club and scoring the most goals across the season with 18. So Gonzalo Rodriguez is another one that I think I went up into the first team and decided to give him first team football instead of Elliot Anderson, who I don't really rate as high as him. So I'm trying to give it to the youth team right now, but the likes of Formica, who's joined, has just already taken over and become one of my best players for £7.5 million. That was really good. Diego Maidana, the youngster on the left, was also a really good pickup for 950k. I mean, he only actually played 4 games. I don't know whether that was because of he had an injury, so he was out for 2 months with a torn calf, but he looks good.
Yeah.
And hopefully when he comes back, he will be good. Vargas even played 14 games after joining. He was my last signing in January. So there's a few in there. And I still had an okay team. I just don't think it was anywhere near as good as what the Benfica and Porto's team was. So I think that's my aim for next season, is just to be better than them. And I think tactically I could do that with this 4-4-1-1. We'll have to find out. Unless, of course, I do decide to go for Bayern Munich, which we'll have to see. But my transfer budget's 10 million, so again, it's not a lot.
No.
So it's going to be we're going to have to make do with what we got this summer and see what happens. But then I might have already moved to Germany. Who knows? I did indeed decide to give it a shot and apply for the Bayern Munich job. However, as I expected, it was a step too soon and I was rejected. So instead, I focused on making the team that I had stronger with a couple of signings in preparation for the new season, which is exactly what my dad did as well. A few new signings and a new tactic, and he was pulling off a fantastic opening day result, getting a draw against Barcelona at home with a very late winner in a cracking game. Well, I'm staying put. Although I did apply for Bayern Munich, just unsuccessful, but I think it was worth a try, for sure.
Definitely.
But I'm staying put here in Portugal with Sporting, and I've had an okay window as well. I think I did struggle to begin with to find a couple of players, but I found a nice little free transfer in Nathan Fernandes, who can really help out on the wings. Then I thought, well, my biggest weakness is my right back. So Thomas Esteves is a Portuguese right back, £13 million popped up. Couldn't find anybody else who was better. Bought him, then he's done his cruciates and is now out for 5 to 7 months. So he won't be playing, and he's 30 already, on the decline. So that was a waste of 10 million. So that isn't going too well. Luckily, I bought a lot of money. I bought a lot of players, in the January window, including a goalkeeper who I was very tempted to get another goalkeeper, but that goalkeeper that I signed was quite good, and then he also got injured. He broke his hand in the very first game of the season, and is out for another 3 weeks. So I've not had much luck with signings, but that always seems to happen to me in August. All my new signings always get injured in August, and I don't know what it is. But still, tactically, I'm sticking with the same. As you could say, these 3 players here, I want to keep playing every single game that we can. Rodriguez in that centre attacking midfield. I'm kind of happy to let Yuri Alberto, Marquez, and Maidana kind of wrestle out for that first spot, scoring the goals, and Gonçalves there in that right centre-back slot, giving him more game time because he is only 20, so giving him the game time might benefit me next year or the year after if I'm here for that long. But there we go. And schedule-wise, I mean, it's been an okay start, but I'm dropping points to Casapia and Estoril, and that's not good enough. No. And this is where I maybe should be nailing in a striker, because my goals are not coming as much as what I'd hoped they would. It started off all right, a nice little 2-0 away win to Braga.
Yeah, clean sheets.
Yeah, in the beautiful stadium that they have. And then a 6-0 after that, and you think, oh, actually, you're doing all right. But yeah, it hasn't been great ever since that. Gil Vicente was a nice little 2-0 with Gonzalo Rodriguez getting 2, but they had a player sent off. And I did qualify for the Europa League again next year. This year, sorry. So hopefully I can do better in the Europa League. But let's have a look at you, Dad. You signed a couple of players as well.
Yeah, I was just sort of strengthening my side up really with a squad. Really, I had a very weak squad, I felt.
Yeah, you had to bring in a goalkeeper. You got 2 in because your backup isn't that good either.
It wasn't very good, no. So yeah, I was quite happy with the keepers that I've got in. So
yeah, I think that one's definitely
this one is the better one yet. So I'm pleased with that one.
Joe D'Alessandro, £2.7 million, quite cheap, really.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for a good young midfielder. So I'm quite pleased with that.
Has picked up an injury, but it's only 2 to 4 days. Then, if you have a look at the rest, we've got Leonardo Vargas, £2.8 million from relegated side.
Yeah. Should just strengthen the midfield up. They were a bit weak in midfield, I felt.
Manuel Barreto, I don't know what you've seen in that guy, but
I'm just hoping there's a young striker really that I needed another striker if I had any injuries, so he's not that too bad really, I think.
Andreas Cuenca though came in as well, another centre back.
Yeah. So it's literally just strengthening the squad, really, making the squad a little bit stronger.
Yeah, because no players of your first team really went out of the club, so you managed to keep hold of them. But you have adopted a 4-4-2. You've changed back to a 4-4-2.
I'm just making myself a little bit difficult to beat now, and this sort of tactic does help with that, bringing the wingers back into to support the midfielder. So that's what I'm hoping, really. Make myself a little bit more harder to beat, and then try and catch people on the break.
It's worked so far.
Yeah,
because started off a nice little draw against Barcelona.
Great first game, isn't it? To draw with Barcelona.
Yeah.
And get the equaliser in the 91st minute. I love a late goal.
Lost to Cadiz right after, though. You're kind of like, how the hell did that happen?
Oh, no.
But the teams that we mentioned about you beating, the Gironas, who were finishing above, you stuffed them 3-0.
Yeah, and that's the games I've really got to be winning.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Yeah, you take anything off Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that you take it as a bonus point, really. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, the good start for me, that is. I'm really pleased with this start. Yeah.
And 2 goals there from Max Merding, as well as 2 against Barcelona. So he's actually hit the ground running, because in 5 games he's got 4 goals for this season, which is more than what he got in 15 last year.
Yeah. So fingers crossed with him then, yeah. I've got another hard game next with Atletico Madrid at their ground as well, yeah. So this is sort of like the telling time now.
To be honest, the next 5 are kind of hard, really.
I could be really in trouble again at the end of those 5 games. Really.
Yeah, relegation zone again. We're in the fight.
Fingers crossed now I can just get pep up. I'd like to think I can get like 3 wins out of that 5 games, and that'd be really good then.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, I don't think I plan on leaving this season.
I'm definitely not.
No. I think we're happy to just crack on with this season, and then I think I'm going to assess the job situation at the end of this year, because I like to think I stand a good chance of possibly winning another trophy. I think you stand a very good chance of bumping your reputation just by finishing.
I think that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Probably for 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah, I think staying put for you is probably quite vital. So let's crack on then. Let's see what happens this season. See if we can get a little bit of recognition and a little bit of love for our clubs. Well, Dad's good start at Granada continued against Atletico when Minchez's free kick rescued a point away from home. And he ended the month of September how he began, with a 4-1 win this time against Real Betis. But that's when things got rough for Dad and the losses started to pile up, with just 2 more remaining wins before the new year. And his league position also dropped too as expected, and he found himself sitting in 12th place in La Liga. I was having a great time in the Europa League though, and I won 4 of my first 6 games so far. It was in the domestic league though that I was picking up some bad results, including the critical loss against Famalicão 1-0 at home, because that loss flipped our positions and now I was in 4th place with them sat in 2nd place, being managed by former Sporting manager Amorim. We carried on winning games in Europe, seeing out the league phase with 2 more wins, cementing us in 2nd place, only behind Brighton. Thanks to a win on penalties against Porto though in the Allianz Cup semi-final, we take ourselves to back-to-back finals in this competition. Dad's Granada side though was eliminated from the Copa del Rey in just the 4th round against a 2nd division opposition. But that actually might be a good thing, because with a push in the league, he could see himself challenge for European spots next season. Speaking of Europe, I just snuck past Danish side Midtjylland and have Hearts to play in the quarterfinals. And unfortunately for Hearts, we dominated them across both legs and eased past them to face Liverpool in the semi-finals. But meanwhile in Spain, Granada was going on a fantastic run and climbing La Liga table, only losing 1 game and winning the rest within 2 months and sneaking into a 7th place in the league with European spots in mind. I got my own back in the Portuguese league against Famalicão, winning 2-1, but it was going down to the wire for the 2nd spot. Unfortunately though, it was a semi-final exit in the Europa League again for my Sporting side, and dropping points in the league could mean I drop out of the Champions League spots there too. Right, well, we got to the end of the season. I am really disappointed with mine, because with 1 game to go, I had a chance of actually winning the title, but I blew it.
Porto dropped right off, didn't they? And then you didn't slip into that 2nd position, did you?
Well, I slipped into it.
I
just got knocked back out of it. For Famalicão, for some reason, it's just been unbelievable here. I mean, their team is okay. It's not insane. That's their key player, but it's Ruben Amorim as the manager. Yeah. Which, of course, I'm at Sporting.
Yeah.
He's gone to Famalicão and he's just doing bits there. So, yeah, fair play to them. But I did struggle. I must admit, I did struggle. My top scorer was Trincao, who's a winger in 33. It's not good enough. The average rate was dominated by Benfica's side. They've got a cracking team there. So, I mean, I had the most clean sheets. 20 clean sheets in 34 games is solid. Defensively, been really good. And the goalkeeper I brought in has done really well in terms of development at 23. Well. Yeah. It's cracking. So maybe that's, something to build upon next year is my defence and work my way up the pitch, find a better striker or find some more goals from somewhere. But yeah, I'm disappointed with that. I really am. I only lost 4.
I don't think it's the 2 points of missing coming second. It's the 5 points away from being beyond Benfica.
Yeah,
it's a big gap. I mean, it's only 2 games, but in this league, it's a big gap.
I lacked a lot of goals. You can see all the games that I drew. I never conceded more than 1 goal.
No.
So you think those are the games where your strikers are not firing? Because I even went away to Benfica and got 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
So I just need more goals from anything. Defensively, I've been solid. And even the games that I lost only ever conceded 2, never more.
No.
Which is quite rare, really.
Yeah.
I bet in probably some of my wins I conceded more than 2. You can't see any there, but that's probably what happened. Yeah, that's disappointing. And Porto manager, by the way, he's insecure right now. Dad could be jumping across, joining my league again. But let's have a look, Dad, to see how you actually got. Oh, actually, to be fair, cup competitions.
Yes.
I didn't win any, and I was very unfortunate. Allianz Cup runners-up, the cup that I won last year, lost in the final this time round. Knocked out in the FA Cup version, the Taça de Portugal, here in the 6th round by Casapia is disappointing. But again, it's a semi-final, and again, it's an English
Liverpool,
club.
yeah.
Which is really annoying. Who then went on to lose against Brighton.
Yeah.
So that's really disappointing. But it was another cracking tournament for me because I finished second.
Finished top of the group, and they are a good side, Brighton, aren't they?
I lost to Liverpool in the league phase, which isn't great. Round of 16, knocking out Midtjylland there. Quarter final, knocking out Hearts. I had an easy run, to be fair, in the semis, but got battered 5-2 there. All right, Dad, let's have a look to see how you got on this season. It was a cracking finish. 8th place, just outside of Europa League.
I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that. I was there or thereabouts, sort of hanging around. I had sort of a mid-season sort of just dropped off a little bit, and then I come up against Real Madrid near the end. I went on a really good run, come up against Real Madrid, lost them, and then I just lost the next sort of 3 games after that as well. So I was so close to nicking that sort of 7th spot there, really. But hey, I'm pleased with that. If you said to me at the beginning of the season you're going to get 8th, I'd have jumped on that.
Well, that was your target, wasn't it? Last season, that was your target. You were finishing around 14th. Your target was to finish 10th or 8th, or 8th to 10th.
When all the teams above me is teams that I would say, they probably would be above me.
Absolutely,
so,
And you got a couple behind you, like Betis, Bilbao. Those are difficult games. Profile of the league: we can't see any of your players other than D'Alessandro, who managed to get a few good man of the matches, 7 in total. So that was a good season for him. Yeah. But we're not anticipating when you're in mid-table to see many players in there anyway. No. How did you get on in the cup though? 4th round by Espanyol, unfortunately. Who are they in your league or not? Don't think so. So that's disappointing.
Bad, yeah.
But there we go. Yanis Antiste was top scorer with 14 goals, or 15 across the whole league. Yeah. 14 for Benito there. So again, I think yours the same, really. I think it's a little bit of goals.
That's a proper mid-table team there, really, though, isn't it? Yeah. There's nothing brilliant anywhere there, but
it's Max, considering he got 4 goals in the first 5 games and to get 11 all season, Paul.
Yeah. It's hard to improve that sort of because you need a lot of money then to start getting sort of better class players in. So. But I'll settle for another season like that, to be honest with you. Yeah,
and just keep on building that reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, for now it's a 3-star, but it could go up. You haven't been given your budget yet, by the looks of it, because I'm still in the 23rd of May. But hey, are you anticipating in staying next season then?
I think I have to, really. I don't think I could. It'd be hard to get a better team in a better league. Higher sort of.
There's a better team in your league.
See, that's probably feasible, really, because of them being in my league and doing what I've just done, they would possibly look at me. So, yeah, I'd be tempted with that.
4.5-star reputation,
that's wherever they would take me on.
It's a star and a half higher.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, I'd be silly not to apply for it, I feel, because of it being in the same league.
Yeah.
But I think it probably is just out of my reach.
Yeah. None of the other ones you fancy? No. I mean, I wouldn't in your situation. I think I'd do exactly the same. The Atletico Madrid I'd be interested in. In terms of other insecure jobs... Porto, as we mentioned, insecure.
I don't know about that one.
Sociedad, insecure with Pep Guardiola there, which is a strange one, isn't it? He's been at Spain for ages after the Man City job. Now he's at Real Sociedad, but also Juve in
That's
third.
An interesting one.
5-star though.
Yeah.
So it's quite a lot, but they finished in 3rd place last year with Milan's the two Milans above them, only 2 points behind.
They sacked the manager for that.
Well, they haven't.
They haven't.
He's insecure.
No, he's insecure. But why though?
Yeah,
they only just missed one, didn't they?
Very strange. They've got a good team. Oscar Gluk's there as their key player. They've got Dusan Vlahovic is still there. The captain is Turami still there.
Do you know their problem is they drew too many games?
Yeah,
they only lost 2 games.
Yeah,
they drew 10.
So that's obviously where they're falling there, because they lost only to Palermo and Milan away from home. But as you say, same situation as me, like drawing too many and not scoring enough.
That Palermo, they lost it. Where did they finish?
Down in 13th.
That's cost them the league.
Yeah.
3 points.
Yeah. So that could be interesting if that one pops up. But we'll have to find out. Well, Dad decided he had no choice and he applied for the Atletico Madrid job to see if they would give him a shot. He was also tempted by the Porto job but decided against that move to be in the same league as me again. However, I was stuck waiting patiently to see if the Juventus board would pull the trigger and there would be a job for me to apply for in Italy.